Welcome to today's People to People. I'm Gaynor Hall. Let's get started. This week, David Brown stepped down from his role as Chicago Police Superintendent. After spiking in 2021, gun violence dropped in Chicago last year, but there were still nearly 700 murders in the city. During Brown's tenure, the police force shrank by 1,400 officers. Now, both candidates in Chicago's mayoral runoff promised to fire Brown if elected. Whoever wins will choose his replacement. And for the first time, the finalists for the top job will be selected by a new community-led commission. Chicago CRED, which stands for Create Real Economic Destiny, is an anti-violence organization working inside communities since 2016. And they have some ideas on what's needed for the next superintendent. Joining us today is Peter Cunningham, Communications and Policy Advisor for Chicago CRED, and Kanoya Ali, who serves as the organization's housing coordinator. Peter, Ali, so glad to have you in studio with us today. And I want to start with you, Ali. Give us a little bit of your backstory on how you became connected with Chicago CRED.
Well, I was working with the organization called Iman and the City Muslim Action Network, doing similar work, and Chicago CRED came to me. There was an offer made to make a bigger impact on a different side. In a different neighborhood with the guys that I was already working with. I had the opportunity to basically go deal with the ops of the guys I had a relationship with, and I jumped at the chance, the opportunity to possibly make amends between those two groups of guys. So that's how I got Chicago CRED.
And so when we're talking about this approach to this pervasive issue of gun violence in Chicago, the approach is really hitting it at all angles, right? Because you're doing the outreach work, Peter, as well as, trauma treatment, connecting them to jobs. Talk to us more about that layered approach.
Yeah, the concept really is that we engage directly with the guys who are most at risk of shooting or being shot. And we start with outreach. They recruit them into the program. And these are trusted leaders in the community, people they know. And then they get a life coaching. Kanoya Ali was a life coach for a long time. He just took over as housing coordinator now, but he's a life coach in spirit in all ways. And, life coaches are literally just what the term says, someone who's available 24/7 to help them with all kinds of issues and decisions. And then we give them education, job training, and most importantly, treatment for their trauma, because all of them have witnessed gun violence starting often at the age of 10. They've had other adverse childhood experiences, and they need someone to help them work through that stuff.
And then the economic piece of it too, right?
Absolutely. They need a job. They need a chance to work in the legal economy, pay rent. Many of them have families. They need to eat. And if we don't give them a path into the legal economy, they're going to stay in the illegal economy, and that's no good.
So now that we're thinking about a new superintendent coming in, the challenges that Chicago is facing, the ongoing challenges with violence, what do you think needs to be the top priority for whoever gets this job, Ali?
The top priority for a superintendent should be to really create a relationship with the community. It's necessary for them to come in and want to create an organic relationship with the community that has nothing to do with, let's say, crime, but just has something to do with being more of a network and a support to people if needed. So if you come in the neighborhood and you don't even have to have a uniform on all the time, but just come in the neighborhood and really develop a relationship with the people, and then you'll have a better outcome. I think the superintendent should make sure they do that, as well as connect with the grassroots organizations that are already doing the pre-crime work, and trying to make sure that there is a unison or some kind of relationship there to make sure that before things happen, there's some on-front support to the people that's trying to make sure that crime doesn't take place.
How are you identifying these people who are likely to be victims of gun violence or possible perpetrators of violence? How are you targeting the people that you're working with?
Well, we hire folks like Ali who grew up in the community, who understand these issues, who've in many cases, been a part of that street life. They have what we call LTO, the license to operate. They've got the respect, they've got the trust, And they're plugged into the social media. They're aware of the neighborhood rivalries that exist. And, you know, in many cases, they have relationships with the people who are involved. And so they know how to get them to them and how to recruit them.
So, Ali, what is the Chicago Cred working relationship like with Chicago police? And is that something that you would like to see massaged a little better for the next administration?
Right now, there's some, but it's not enough. So we know the culture of the people is not to trust police. That's just the natural culture of the people in the 15 areas, neighborhoods that, as we say, that 85% of the crime is committed in gun violence, right, related. And be clear, 85% of gun violence in Chicago is committed in 15 neighborhoods. We have 77 now, going to 78 neighborhoods. So in those 15 areas, police are not much welcome by the people, right? So to answer your question, the relationship has to be developed from the inside out, and it has to start, and what we've been doing so far it's kind of been standoffish. I think that the police look at us as trying to replace them versus trying to be a solution to the problem before it gets further on.
So, Peter, Ali, talking about this trust issue, do you think the next superintendent needs to come from within the department or from outside? Does it matter?
Yeah, so we just had an outsider. For him, we had an insider. Before that, we had an outsider. So we've gone both ways. We've swung back and forth. The bottom line is that the next police superintendent, he or she needs to drive reform, because we're under a legal obligation to drive reform.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the consent decree, right?
And there's also a moral obligation to do it, because there's a long history of abuse. And secondly, they need to rebuild morale. The department is really suffering, guys. Suicides are up, retirements are skyrocketing. And then third, they need to keep us safe. And those three things are really a big, big challenge. You need a really smart person, and it's hard to see someone from outside come in and doing it well right now.
We'll leave it there. Peter, Ali, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
And you can learn much more about the work Chicago Cred is doing in the city by visiting their website, chicagocred.org.